Well, it being 6:01, good evening, everyone. My name is Jay Reyes, and I'm the clerk of Riverside Township. Welcome to the 153rd annual meeting of Riverside Township. If you haven't already done so, please take a moment to sign in, and that attendance sheet will allow us to verify your right to vote. Any registered voter within Riverside Township has the right to vote on matters here at this annual meeting. So let's take a moment and have a look at that shortly. But for now, please rise and let's have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Trustee Acosta, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The moderator of this meeting is elected from among the electors present. It's customary to award an honorarium to the moderator of the annual town meeting. What is your pleasure regarding the amount of an honorarium? It's typically about $100, yes. Okay, very good. So we have, I'll take that as a motion from Trustee Heilenbach to award an honorarium of $100 for the moderator of the annual meeting. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion from Trustee Heilenbach and a seconded by Trustee Carroll. All those in favor of awarding a $100 honorarium to our annual meeting moderator, please say so by stating aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, motion carries unanimously. Are there any nominations for moderator for the 153rd annual meeting of the Township of Riverside? Supervisor Wilt.
I nominate Mary Jo Miller.
Okay. We have a nomination for Mary Jo Miller to serve as the annual meeting moderator. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Do we have any other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving Mary Jo Miller to serve as our moderator for the annual meeting, please say so by stating aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations, Ms. Miller. Okay. If you will step forward, then we will go ahead and administer the oath. Have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of moderator
the duties of moderator
of this annual town meeting
of this annual town meeting
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
All right, very good. Okay, and I think this is where you take it from here, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll start with the approval of the minutes from the last annual town meeting. Minutes of the 152nd annual meeting are available on the table at the door. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes of the 152nd annual town meeting?
So moved.
Do I have to state who said that?
Oh, I got it.
Oh, okay. Second call for vote or result? A second?
Is there a second? Okay.
Moving on to new business.
Let's have a vote for it.
Oh, we have to vote?
You're doing great.
Okay.
All those.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any nays? The result?
Motion carried.
Motion carried. New business. Is there any new business to come before the electors? Okay, nothing was presented, so we move on. We'll begin with the township reports, starting with the financial statement of the township supervisor.
Thank you. I'm Vera Wilt, Township Supervisor, and I'm not going to read the entire report. It's available on the table. I hope that you've grabbed a copy. But in general terms, as of the close of business on March 31st, 2024, which was the end of our most recent fiscal year, we had in the general fund $589,798.24. You can see the revenues were $1,422,096 and change. Expenses were $1,166,144 and change. So the amount levied in the preceding year was $689,367.13. The amount of funds in the General Assistance Fund, which is a separately taxed fund, at the end of the fiscal year was $379,703 and change. The revenues for that from taxes were $78,216.29. Expenses were $106,806.59, which was a decrease in the funds of $28,590. The amount of the levy for the prior year was $54,711.68. You have all of the itemized expenses, the receipts and disbursements in general terms of budget line items that took place over the course of the fiscal year, starting April 1st, 2023, ending March 31st of 2024. And as if there are no questions, that I will present that as my report, but I'd be happy to answer any questions there might be. Okay. I think it speaks for itself.
So is there a motion to accept?
I make a motion that we accept Supervisor Wilt's report.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion?
I second it.
Okay. And then all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion carries forward. Now we'll continue with the report of the Township Supervisor, Vera Wilt.
Again, you do have copies of it, but it's pretty small print, and I will read this one. It's not that long. The township is operating smoothly, and I'm happy to report real estate tax distributions have normalized. Because of previously delayed taxes during the fiscal year ending March 31, 2024, we received both the balance of delayed 2022 taxes and also the bulk of the anticipated amount from the first installment of 2023 taxes. Although we had a tax shortfall in the fiscal year ending March of 2023, we collected nearly $39,000 more in the fiscal year just ended than we had budgeted for. Additionally, with banks finally paying interest that is more than a few pennies, we have made changes to bank accounts that now earn greater interest. By doing so, we managed to earn over $25,000 more in interest than we had budgeted for. We had citizen participants, as well as all the elected officials of the township, participate in a now required decennial efficiency study. Once every 10 years, this must be conducted. It was a valuable exercise to bring everyone up to date. The conclusions were that although we will continue to seek out better ways of doing things, the township really does operate efficiently. The bridge repairs were funded through a $500,000 general obligation bond at a rate of 4.25%. We only drew $450,000 of that, which we should be able to repay on schedule from regular revenues. So far, we have only paid an interest payment in December and are due for another in June. The first principal repayment is not due until December 1, 2024, and at that time, $60,000 will be due. Senior programs, including weekly movies and exercise classes 3 times per week, continue to get great response from the residents. We participated in the North Riverside Senior Fair in May and the Community Resource Center's Health and Wellness Fair in June. The senior holiday luncheon was renewed after COVID and was held at the Riverside Golf Club. The township nominated 2 senior residents for recognition of their volunteer activities through Aging Care Connections. The Nurses Closet has been very popular in the past year, with the word spreading of its existence. The food pantry served 120 households at least once in the past year. Summer participants received a total of 600 vouchers, $5 each, for the Riverside Farmers Market, and 68% of the recipients used at least some of those vouchers. 80 households came during the November and December holiday period, and additionally received a gift card for either Riverside Foods or Aldi for the holidays. Riverside Foods had a very successful Fill the Trailer holiday drive and delivered over $4,300 worth of food and supplies to our food pantry. Hauser Junior High students also delivered canned goods on a regular basis throughout the year from their annual food drive. Several residents had their temporary handicap parking placards processed by our staff. Probably hundreds of documents were notarized by township notaries. We participated in and distributed beads in Independence Day parades in Riverside, North Riverside, and Brookfield. We entered Trustee Heilenbach's amazing chili in the cook-off at the Autumn Fest in North Riverside. 2 document shredding events were held for the residents, and you can mark your calendars for June 8th for another. We supported the North Riverside Scholarship Golf Outing. Cultural program support included Riverside Arts Center, Riverside Arts Weekend, Township Radio Players, and Riverside Theater Guild for the youth. Various repairs have been done to the town hall, including some heating and cooling projects, but no major work was done this year. The future holds a lot of such projects, so our plan for the new fiscal year is to focus on saving for those needed projects, including the second-floor restrooms, wall repairs, and eventually a new roof. The town hall facilities were utilized by many organizations for meetings and events, and there were approximately 40 private rentals as well. Residency is required. General assistance and emergency assistance have been greatly utilized in the past year. We have had an average of 11 people on general assistance in any given month and had 10 cases of emergency assistance in the fiscal year. The township staff have been a very valuable asset and work well together and efficiently. I'm extremely grateful for their dedication to the job and to the residents of Riverside Township. There are times when working so directly with the public can be very challenging. Thank you to Andrew Lutha, who is Deputy Clerk, Administrative Assistant, Building Scheduling Manager, Technology Support, Communications Manager, Payroll Manager, Movie Presenter, and all-around right arm. Thank you also to Nina Tagliola for her direct and kind dealings with the public and her management of our accounts payable and many resident services. Thank you to Keith Lees, who not only does the custodial work in the building, but also oversees the food pantry, always having food for our clients, and helping residents find just the right items for the nurse's closet. Thank you to the trustees, clerk, and assessor, and her staff for their dedication to the township and all its residents. Respectfully, Vera Wilt. I'll gladly answer any questions there might be, but that is my report.
Is there a motion to accept Vera's report?
So moved.
Any second to the motion?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? And all in favor? Aye. All opposed? So the motion moves forward. Now we'll move on to the report of the township clerk.
Boy. Okay, I'll go ahead and read it into the record. I prepared a brief statement, just highlighting some of the board's activity. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jay Race. I'm the Riverside Township Clerk. As you may know, the Riverside Township Clerk role is a statutorily mandated role, and it's the township's keeper of records. The clerk drafts and maintains meeting minutes for the regular committee of the whole, special meetings of the township board. The clerk's also responsible for filing such documents as required by county and state law. It's been an honor to serve as the Township Clerk for the people of Riverside Township. I would particularly like to thank Riverside Township Supervisor Vera Wilt and the Township Board for their tireless leadership and advocacy on behalf of the residents which we serve. The 2023 and 2024 year period allowed Riverside Township many opportunities to demonstrate its commitment to the services it offers to area residents. Under the direction of Riverside Township Supervisor Vera Wilt and the Township Board, the swinging bridge, an iconic structure and source of pride throughout Riverside Township, received a facelift with new surface painting. The project revitalized the appearance of the swinging bridge, remediated any potential environmental concerns, and ensured the bridge's integrity for many years to come. Riverside Township addressed its mandate under the Decennial Committee on Local Government Efficiency Act, forming a committee comprised of elected officials and area residents to study the operations of its government programs. The committee undertook the initiative to compile information and determine whether there were increased opportunities for efficiency and accountability in Riverside Township government. The process offered township residents and employees the opportunity to provide input on the direction of services offered by the township. The Riverside Township Board also continued to demonstrate its commitment to the needs of the most vulnerable in the township. Faced with increased inflationary economic pressures, some residents struggled to obtain basic necessities. Township Supervisor Wilt responded by reworking food pantry and other public assistance efforts to respond to an increased need. The township undertook efforts to address housing insecurity, mental health needs, senior assistance, and other public services. Trustee Tim Heilenbach has been instrumental in providing guidance and resources to the township's mental health board in its efforts to address mental health concerns for residents of all ages. Trustee Mary Rob Clark has demonstrated an ongoing commitment to offer programming and services to township senior citizens, among others. Trustee Matt DeCosta and Trustee John Carroll have brought their extensive government knowledge and experience to be careful stewards of township resources. Township Assessor Fran Sitkowitz continued her efforts to offer property tax appeal and related services to township residents during a time of substantial increase in property reassessment. Additionally, Andrew Lutha, Deputy Clerk, deserves particular praise for his day-to-day efforts on behalf of the residents of the township as well. The township would not function as efficiently without his efforts. In closing, Riverside Township government has been active, vibrant, and responsive to the needs of the community. The township will continue to address its obligations responsively, effectively, and compassionately. Respectfully submitted, Jay Reyes, Riverside Township Clerk. Thank you.
Motion to accept the report of the Township Clerk? Second to the motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Action on the motion, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? The action moves forward. And next, we'll go on to the report of the Township Assessor. Good evening. My name is Mary Jo Miller, and I, in absentee of Frances Sitkowitz, the Riverside Township Assessor, she is attending the Illinois Property Assessment Institute's annual conference this week. I will be presenting her report. So I would like to extend my appreciation to Supervisor Wilt and the Riverside Township Board for their continued support of the services of the Riverside Township Assessor's Office that brings service to the residents of our township. The Riverside Township Assessor's Office continues to serve the people of Riverside Township as their advocate to the Cook County property tax system. Among our duties, we provide assistance to taxpayers with applications of exemptions, appeals, and certificates of error. We track property transfers and send letters of welcome to new property owners. We address questions and concerns regarding property taxes of residents, potential residents, realtors, and attorneys. Finally, we are statutorily responsible for processing permits with the Cook County Assessor's Office from the 4 municipalities located within Riverside Township. In the report, I'm going to highlight some of the data. In 2023, that was our reassessment year, so we had a lot of changes. It was a record reassessment of increasing values, so we had a record number of inquiries. We also have had many technology changes from the county. Some of the municipalities are also going through technology changes, which is affecting our permit tracking and how we process exemptions and appeals. 2023, although the property number of sales was not as high as the previous year, however, the volume in dollars is significant. And with all those property changes, we've had a record number of exemptions processed. Also, with that, we had a record number of certificates of error, and due to the delays of the county number of corrected tax bills, this amounted to $174,846 in refunds made to the taxpayers of the township. So this is significant. We help a lot of our seniors because this township is moving, or the county is moving to put most things online, and we have a lot of seniors that are not comfortable doing that or don't have email. So we process all that through our office. We reach out to over 650 seniors in our township, and we have a constant contact list of over 1,500 people that number has been increasingly growing as properties change in the township. We had 2 outreach meetings this year with representatives of the county, and we were happy to see that local county officials came, including Commissioner Frank Aguilera, Senator Mike Porfirio, Representative Lisa Hernandez. So we're looking to partnership with them and reach out to our taxpayers. The taxpayers of Riverside Township value the services of Township Assessor's Office by continuing to come to us and refer their neighbors and friends to us for assistance with their property tax issues. I would like to thank my staff, myself, Mary Jo Miller, and Barbara Legan for the exceptional level of professionalism they bring to their work. With the assistance, the Township Assessor's Office continues to provide outstanding service to the taxpayers of Riverside Township. This was respectively submitted by Francis Sikowitz, Riverside Township Assessor. Thank you. Motion to accept the Township Assessor's Report. Second to the motion? Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? So the result, the report is approved. We'll move to the report from the Township Trustee. Are there any reports? No reports. So we'll go on to the report of the Mental Health Board.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kara Cowlitz, and I am the treasurer of the Mental Health Board. I'm starting my 3rd year, and it's been a great experience so far. The Mental Health Board has the general purpose of advocating, providing, and evaluating programs and services which enhance the mental health of the community. We support programs which sustain and improve the well-being of individuals, their attitude towards themselves, and their adjustment to the community and each other. And we act as a source of mental health information for the community at large. The Mental Health Board works in partnership with a number of community-based service providers to ensure that resources are available to township residents. We fund services that fall into 3 broad categories: mental health services, services to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and outpatient and inpatient services to individuals suffering from addiction. Our fiscal year runs from April 1st to March 31st, and our greatest challenge in FY 2023-24 was a matter of cash flow, as tax revenue was deposited into the board's account later in the year than usual. The result was that we had to alter our payment schedule to agencies contingent upon the cash we had on hand, though all were paid by or close to the end of the fiscal year. Ultimately, we gave close to $853,000 for community grants and aid. Our financial support of these agencies ensures our residents have access to local services and that no Riverside Township residents are turned away based on a lack of financial resources. A couple of highlights of our grants and aid include the Township's Community Resource Center, which helps to direct people to mental health and social service resources. And last June, they hosted the Riverside Township Community Health and Wellness Fair at Village Commons in North Riverside. Over 30 local organizations provided information and health screenings to its attendees. We are excited to support the CRC in hosting this fair for a third year in June. Also, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, also known as NAMI, has continued to provide the Support for You teen text line to students at Riverside Brookfield High School, and this service has been expanded to include Hauser Junior High School. Also, the Loft at 8 Corners opened last year, and it provides individual and group mental health services to teens. These services include screening, mental wellness education and skill building, crisis prevention, intervention and stabilization, and referral to other resources as needed. So this past year, we also held our 50th anniversary of the Riverside Township Mental Health Board event. It was celebrated here at Riverside Town Hall in December. This event featured a panel discussion among staff from the agencies funded by the board, as well as details about their services to the community. We are very pleased with these services, and for our part, we continue to improve our board processes. So in the current year, we will be evaluating and updating our grant application to encourage uniformity and make the process as easy as possible for these agencies. The Riverside Township Mental Health Board meets on the third Wednesday of the month, with the exception of July, August, and December. We have changed our meeting time to 6 p.m., and our meeting location will either be here at Town Hall or at one of our benefiting agencies. We invite you to attend our meetings and share your input as we work to provide the highest level of mental health services to Riverside Township. Thank you.
A motion to accept the report of the Mental Health Board? So moved. Second to the motion? Second. Any discussion? All in favor to say aye. All opposed? The report is accepted. Now we will look to set the date for the next annual township meeting. In accordance with state statute, the date of the annual town meeting is to be the second Tuesday in April, which would be April 8th, 2025. Statute also dictates that the meeting should not begin before 6 p.m. Do I have a motion to set the date and time for the annual town meeting? A second? Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? So the meeting will be set for 6:01 p.m., April 8th, 2025, on Tuesday. Okay. This concludes the annual meeting of the Riverside Township. We'll call for an adjournment. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
A second? Second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? We will adjourn the meeting.